การจัดอันดับขีดความสามารถในการแข่งขันในปีนี้มีประเทศในแถบเอเชียติด 20 อันดับแรกอยู่ 4 อันดับ ได้แก่ สิงคโปร์อยู่ในอันดับที่ 3 ฮ่องกงอยู่ในอันดับที่ 4 มาเลเซียอยู่ในอันดับที่ 12 และไต้หวันอยู่ในอันดับที่ 13 ส่วนไทยอยู่ในอันดับที่ 29
Are there any interesting findings for Asian countries?
Yeah, I think that a number of things are happening in Asia. First, I think the fact that you have more and more a middle class in the making, which start to buy in Asia. You know, many of the economy of Asia, including Thailand, were export-oriented and very much depending whether of Japan or the US or Europe. Now, I think that in the region and also maybe with the Asian economic community in the making for next year, you will have more emphasis on the local market, on trying to sell also domestically. So that is very interesting as a development. The other one which I see is, of course, the integration of the Asian economies together. Maybe this famous Asian market in the making will take place next year.
For Thailand, in which areas do we lag behind that our ranking dropped 2 places?
I think that basically it has been infrastructure, number one, where there were some projects which were not implemented, as you know. Some things were delayed, some decisions were not taken. I think that infrastructure is one, and also what I call the connectivity between infrastructure. It means you have to link them. You know, if you make an airport there, a railway here, and a harbor there, and they are not connected, doesn't make sense, right? So you need the logistics and the approach that logistics will support really business. So it's not enough just to invest in infrastructure, you need to invest in the efficiency and the running of the infrastructure and the maintenance. So that's the first point where Thailand has some problems. The second one is because of the events, Thailand lost of its export performance. It used to be very good at export, also in agricultural goods and rice, as you know, and here it has been lagging behind a little bit. The first numbers we have for Q2 seems to show a little bit of improvement, so I think that people are a bit optimistic for Thailand this year. But still, I mean, this has been one of the issues there. And of course, there is this maybe more difficult relationship between the cities and the countryside, where, you know, somehow Thailand has been suffering a little bit of that. And we do believe that a social consensus is a very important element in competitiveness.
Among all the factors that make a country competitive, is governments or leaders the most important factor?
It's not the most important one, it's a key one, there is no doubt, for a very simple reason. You need a sense of direction, number one, and number two, you need people to take decisions. Because, you know, sometimes I speak for my region, Europe, we have a lot of ideas, but we don't decide. So if you have a lot of ideas and you don't do anything, it's worthless, right? But I think you need a government which gives a sense of direction, which is deciding, which is transparent, which has the rule of law is essential. You know, you need to know what's happening, what are the rules of law. And finally, you need to have also procedure of appeal. You don't agree with the decision, can you appeal the decision, all right? These are few of the factors which help to increase business confidence, and I think also consumer confidence.
Is good education the key in succeeding in the long term?
Yes, but you have to define what is good education. Because you have university education is important, but that may not be all. Secondary school education is very key, because you need people to be highly educated at the secondary school level also. I give you an example. In the OECD region, on the average, 60% of the people leaving the college go to university, 60%. In Korea, in Finland, it's 90%, 90. So everybody goes to university. So you have a lot of PhD in economics, but you have no plumbers, no electricians anymore, nobody underneath, which means you have a generation of over-educated people. You need the two. In Korea, the Samsung Research Institute has estimated that you have about every year 40,000 university graduates which don't find a job because they have a too high level of education. On the other hand, 60,000 jobs which are open for secondary school qualification do not find people because they all go to the university. And what I'm saying is that one of the key elements of success in education is dual track education. You need people going to university, but you need the apprenticeship. You need people learning a trade, but you need people learning a job. And Germany and Sweden and Switzerland are doing very well on unemployment and on the economy because they have these two kinds of education. The top one, but the applied education, learning a job. And I think this is critical for a country like Thailand. You need the very top people, but you need also people who know a real job. They need a software programmer, you need plumber, electricians, bakers, whatever you want. And they should be recognized as being something very decent and very important in the economy.